stayed up too late watching the Olympics? Okay, so that'll be the note we start on this morning. I don't know if any of you, for those of you who did not get to see the men's 4x100 freestyle final last night, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I'm going to tell you, you need to go back and watch it, or if you've got it on DVR, you definitely want to see it, because it's worth watching, so I'm just going to leave it at that. So, good morning, everybody. I'm so excited to see everyone here this morning, and for me, it's very wonderful just to see all of you here together here at the same time, at the same place. I want to welcome everyone to Campbell County Schools for the open of the 2016-17 school year. My name is David Rust, and I'm your new superintendent. I've had the honor of speaking with and meeting many of you over the course of the first 2 months, and I very much look forward to meeting as many of you as I can over the course of the coming year. I'm going to share 3 focused phrases with you this morning, and I want to use them to drive our work throughout this year. They are whatever it takes, rigor, engagement, and growth, and cross the line. The first one is whatever it takes. Everyone in this room has heard this before, right? We know what it means, correct? Hopefully. So let's start with our current status. As I mentioned in my letter back to you at the beginning of July, we are a high-performing district. We're the 4th highest performing district out of the 16 districts in northern Kentucky, and we're 21st in the state of 173 districts. Now let's consider this for just a moment. Those outperforming us right now regionally are Fort Thomas, Beechwood, and Walton. I don't know what you know about those districts, but their students aren't wanting for very much. 2 of those districts have pre-reduced lunch percentages under 20%. Those students, as many of us know, they get their social and emotional needs met, their nutritional needs, their health, their shelter needs, and finally, their academic needs met every day. Heck, I would venture to guess that many of them would learn in spite of the teaching going on in those classrooms. My point is, our students have needs, and you have been doing whatever it takes to meet our student needs. So just a little bit of background on me. I have worked in schools and in districts serving families with very high needs. I've witnessed students who come off the bus mad because of an altercation at home with a parent or from on the bus with siblings or peers. I've seen many students who do not learn because they're more concerned about where their next meal is coming from or where they may sleep tonight. I've done home visits where I've encountered that cat urine smell that is created from the cooking of crystal meth. I don't know if you've ever smelled it before, but you will never, ever forget it. That smell, it permeates their clothes, their backpacks, and sometimes even their lockers. I've been in schools, both newer and older, that weren't properly maintained. Light bulbs out, tiles missing both from the ceilings and the floors, bathroom stalls with face are falling down. I've seen adults ignore students and not meet their needs. All of these things have a huge impact on how students learn. I'm here to tell you that you have been making a difference. This school district has made enormous strides in the past 5 to 10 years to improve academic performance. I have to tell you that the best teaching in the world makes absolutely no difference if a student is not in the right mind to learn, if their physical, emotional, or social needs are not being met. They won't learn even with the best teachers and the best prepared lessons. I know that this team before me has been meeting student needs, and students are learning. This has been a team effort to do whatever it takes. Drivers, bus monitors, teachers and paraeducators, Frisbee coordinators, counselors, nurses and cafeteria workers, clerks and secretaries, custodians and administrators, coaches and volunteers, those of us in central office and in maintenance. You have made a difference. I also want to pause here, and we must thank our board members as well. I have Mr. Mason sitting up here with me this morning. They provide the resources, and they lay the foundation for student success. They are Mr. Mason, as I mentioned, Ms. Janice Winbigler, Ms. Kim Fender, and Dr. Ted Williams. I want to ask that you please thank them whenever you have an opportunity to see them, and thank Mr. Mason today. They do a thankless job and have done a tremendous job over the years for those students here in Campbell County. The next phrase I want to speak to you about is my regs. I call them my regulations. They are rigor, engagement, and growth. And this serves as my mantra, and you will hear it often. I think the principals and directors have already heard me talk about these on at least 2 or 3 occasions already. So, we're in this place in the district right now where great strides have been made. We are a distinguished district. Our kids are getting what they need for the most part. But we still have novice performers. We still have students who are struggling to read. We still have students who don't know their math facts. What I've asked of principals and directors, and want to ask of you, is to push students with rigor. Rigorous texts, rigorous tasks, and rigorous tests. We must meet students where they are and challenge them, all of them. What is rigorous for one child may be easy for another, and vice versa. Therefore, we must know our kids, where they are, know what they need, and push all of them, while continuing to do whatever it takes to meet their needs and support them every day. I want to clarify that the consideration of rigor is primarily my expectation of teachers. Engagement and growth, however, this is an expectation for every employee and every student in the district. I want to challenge each of you to engage with your students, with parents, with your co-workers, and with supervisors. I challenge you to keep from checking out. Whether you're a driver, cafeteria worker on the serving line, or an administrator, how are you engaging with students and your work on a daily basis? For drivers, are you greeting every one of your kids when they enter the bus in the morning? Are you touching base with school folks upon arrival when you notice that something isn't quite right with a child? For teachers, how are you engaging with your students, and how are they engaging with each other and the content of your lessons? And growth. I want everyone growing. Everyone in this room and every one of the currently enrolled or to be enrolled 4,918 students in this district should be growing every day and throughout the school year. Just so you know, we work in a growth industry. There is no room for contentment or for the status quo. If you think you're doing good enough, that we are doing good enough, or that students are doing good enough, then you're working in the wrong industry. We must always grow, professionally, personally, and spiritually. This applies to everyone. It is important to me and to the future of our students and the Campbell County community. Teachers, how many of you, and I'm guilty of this as well, have failed to challenge yourself to grow at times? Principals and directors, how many of you have failed to properly encourage, assist, and monitor the growth of your employees? Growth plans must not be considered a compliance piece. Growth plans are very important to me and will be a constant point of emphasis. Let's make growth a priority in our work to move this district forward. And this brings me to our theme for today and for the year, which is Cross the Line. I have a video that I'd like you to watch with me today. As you watch this video, I'd like you to take the pen and the paper and share with you as you enter. And I'd like you to jot down one statement or thought that speaks to you or really got your attention as you watch the video. So please watch the video.
With everything, there's a line. On one side of the line, there's a greater chance for good things to happen. This is where you'll find people like Steve Jobs, who created Apple, or Oprah Winfrey and Dave Matthews, or Bill Gates and Nelson Mandela, Eleanor Roosevelt, all those people you admire. On the other side of the line, there's less of a chance for good things to happen. And with each line, you've got a choice. You want to cross the line and you don't. You want that better chance for those good things to happen. Better results, better relationships with colleagues and customers, more opportunities where you settle with the lesser chance. It's your choice. Seems simple, right? But you know there's going to be setbacks and challenges that in the short run might make it seem like you can't cross the line no matter what you do. But those setbacks, those challenges, they might be just the lessons that help you in the long run, making you stronger and better prepared for the more difficult, more important challenges you'll face in the future. But it's going to be hard to remember that during those tough times. You see, during those tough times, you'll just see that line, and it might seem like a wall, but it really is just a line you want to cross. But you've got to decide, you've got to make that choice. But then there's going to be those people who decided they'd rather not cross the line and they'd like it if you didn't either. And unfortunately, sometimes those people might be your colleagues or friends. Maybe they'll sprinkle in a little doubt or withhold a little encouragement at just the right time, or even encourage you to do the wrong thing. Maybe they'll be less subtle about it and just step directly in your way. And then every once in a while, there's going to be you and that inner voice that'll try to tell you that you're not that special and that hitting that certain goal or making something exceptional happen, those things are for other people, you know? What are you thinking about? Setbacks, other people, ourselves, these are real challenges. Ultimately, though, the biggest challenge is going to be whether or not you choose to put in the work, the effort to cross the line, giving you that better chance at everything great that you hope to accomplish in your lives. Just like those people you choose to admire. I'm encouraging you to make that choice right now, the choice to cross the line for yourselves and the people around you. Because in the long run, if you do, you'll enjoy so much more of your life. How? How do you cross the line? Number one, choose to commit. Make that choice to go beyond mediocrity or average results. Approach your work and other opportunities with the intent to succeed and to learn. Two, work hard. Good things are rarely easy or cheap. Real effort and attention are the fundamentals behind everything. There are no quick fixes. There are no silver bullets. You want to earn your results and push yourself more often than not. That's how you create something special, and that's what you want. And remember, sometimes it is the small things that can have the biggest impact on results. You know, think about this. At 211 degrees, water is hot. At 212 degrees, it boils, and with boiling water comes steam, and with steam, you can power a train. Just one extra degree can make all the difference. Be 212 and push things that extra degree. The third point to crossing the line, focus. Eliminate distractions, minimize your exposure to negative people, thoughts, and things that don't serve that intent that you have to succeed. Time moves quickly and you can't get it back. Take good care of it. The more life experience you get, the more you'll understand this. Learn and embrace it as soon as you can. And finally, be resilient. Learn from your mistakes and challenges and remember your choice to cross the line and make good things happen for yourselves. I understand all of this is not easy, but it is simple, and it's up to each of you. You are ultimately responsible for your results, regardless of challenges, regardless of difficult people, regardless of what some of your colleagues and friends might tell you. It's time to cross the line. Are you ready?
So if you haven't written one thing down that needs most of you from the video, I'd like you to take about 15 seconds and just take this time on your little pen and paper. Everybody got something? Okay, so this district, all of us personally, must be careful not to get to a line or a certain level of performance and say, this is good enough. I'm doing pretty good. I don't need to push myself anymore or any further. We must not ever become complacent nor stagnant. I want each of you to think in silence right now. Each of you to think in silence right now about when or where or how you may have become stagnant and not grown professionally or personally in the recent past. Think about where you need to challenge yourself to push through that line that's currently holding you back. Take a moment and write a note on your paper indicating how you would like to cross a line that currently exists in your life or at school. Please take a moment to do this. You thought the paper and pen for Jeff and not push the work. Okay, what I'd like for you to do now is I'd like for you to share with the person next to you. Talk about what line exists in your life. Have a quick conversation about how you might cross that line. What steps might you take? Jot down some notes as you talk. So just to share with you, my goal for crossing the line this year is to make a very concerted effort to meet as many of you as I can and to learn your names. For those of you who don't know me, I can be very engaging, but I like to kind of sit in the background and give people watching from afar. So this is going to be a challenge for me this year. I know this will be difficult, but I want to ask your help with this. Please don't be shy or hesitate to come up and introduce yourself. And whatever, no matter what, please, whatever you do, don't be mad if it takes me a couple of times. What's your name again? What's your name? As I work through and learn your name, if your name sticks. But I'm going to try my hardest to meet as many of you as I can ready to come here. So that's one of my goals for this year. I have to step out of my comfort zone in order to cross this line. I know this is important for me, and it's part of me becoming a better superintendent. Okay, so let's take a moment to review our focus phrases. Again, I want to reinforce that we will continue doing whatever it takes to meet student needs. You have done a fantastic job with this. Let's never ever forget its impact on kids and their learning. We will get to know kids, meet them where they are, and push them through rigorous tasks, and tests, challenging them and ourselves to engage purposefully every single day, and to set growth targets for ourselves and for our students. And finally, We must identify a current barrier that holds us back, then design and execute a plan to cross that line. All of this for our colleagues and for the students in the community we serve, so that we can become better versions of ourselves. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Mason to please step down to the front, if you would, with Associate Superintendent Dr. Shelley Wilson, Assistant Superintendent Mr. Joe Berkeley, to assist you with recognizing employees that have reached one of the 5-year anniversaries in their service in the district. I would also like to call to the podium, pay attention, guys. I'd like to call to the podium and introduce Ms. Diana Heidelberg, our Human Resources Director, who will announce the service pin recipients and their years of service. Does that work? Start with the 30 year. Oh, it's 5. Change it.
Is this one? Okay. Okay, if you're, I told Dr. Russ you're always worried about when you give me a microphone, but if you're new to Campbell County, we have had a tradition for quite a few years of awarding service pins at 5-year increments. So at this time, we'll begin with employees who have been in Campbell County Schools for 5 years. Lauren Bitter. And we'd like to ask you to come forward, and if you just hold applause till after we finish a certain group, I'd like to ask you to come forward and get your pin. Thank you. Lauren Bitter. Josh Boggs. Melissa Bagasta. Lee Cullum. Melissa Day. Alex Evans. Rob Fryman. Ryan Goss. Larry Goopser. Gwen Haywood. Doug Hines. Sandra Howard. Jennifer Kaufman. Allison Clyde. Julie Kuhnheim. Stephen Lickert. Dean Murata. Paisley McDowell. Christine O'Brien. Michelle Ott. Angie Perkins. Renee Ratliff. Joey Reed. Janet Robertson. Joan Singleton. Angela Stacy. Trish Sullivan. Elizabeth Thornton. Amy Walsh. Brett White. Leslie Yowns. Mark Mann. So that would be our 5-year recipients. Let's give a round of applause. Next would be our 10-year recipients.
Probably not.
Regina Barth.
8 years. 17.
Kelly Doe. Renee Ellsworth. Janie Faust. Kathy Glover. Linda Hardy. Judy Hayter. Josh Huff. Dan Kramer. Tina Kramer, Amy Lang, Michelle Martin, Jessie Martin, Rita Mays, Helen Masano, Kathy Nisus, Macy Owen, Cindy Picarillo, Lisa Poor, Brenda Snitchler, Dan Sheff, Sonia Sizemore, Jeremiah Swords, Gina Spangler, Deborah Stanford, Cindy Stahl, Michelle Waymeyer, Jean Weber, Dana Whelan, Lene Witt. That's a group of people that have been here 10 years. Next would be our 15-year recipients. There's Josh Huff, Mrs. Penn. Right back there. Oh, I crossed, that was me just crossing the line. But I don't know that that was the right way. Now I'm gonna do 15 years. Jeremy Beazle, Craig Chaplin, Alvin Ellsworth, Marilyn Greeley, Pam Huff, M.M. Jameson, Jane King, Amy Klebeyes, Connie Kroger, Teresa Lee, Sean Maddie, Mark Manis, Tony Mazie, Kara McNair, Rhonda Roberts, Joe Rosman, Melanie Schaefer, Betty Schneider, Anita Short, those would be our 15-year recipients. Next will be employees that have been here 20 years. Pam Beazle, Sandy L. Besh, Melissa Conway, Darcy Fields, Debbie Foey, Judy Franzen, Marlene Gurney, Jennifer Hinson, Donna Holtz, Cindy Jones, Anita Krutzkamp, Kelly Stan, Becky Tuis, Rachel Walker. Those will be our 20-year employees. Now, 25 Gosney, Melinda Hyden, Jim Jackson, Tanya Wilson.
Yeah, my late 20s. I started 2000. So I took those 2 years.
Well, I'm right this assumption. Then we have 2 employees that have been here 30 years. Barb Talby, Rhonda Watts. And that is the end of our hands.
Wow, 30 years. Fantastic. Thank you, Ms. Heidelberg. I want to take a moment, and I would like to thank Mr. Ritter and the high school staff for hosting us this morning. I'd also like to thank Ms. Susan Prather and Ms. Connie Bolgiers from our office for helping to prepare for this event. I also want to thank all of you for your attendance and for your attention, this morning. I want to continue to challenge you to grow and to cross the line and to be the best person you can be in service to the students and the families of Campbell County. Finally, I want to close with a reminder of our district mission, which is the mission of Campbell County Schools, in partnership with students, staff, parents, and community, is to do whatever it takes to ensure our students' success in college, in career, and in life. Again, thank you for all that you do. I want to wish you good luck. I want to wish you a wonderful school year. I look forward to seeing all of you and working with you throughout the school year. Please, please, please have a wonderful, fantastic year. Now let's get to work. Thank you.